What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Wei Koh from Revolution here with my watchdog Bandit, who is learning about watches from me and actually occasionally imparts her knowledge upon me in terms of complications, case designs, even dials, all that kind of thing. She's become quite the authority and sort of a figure in the watch collecting community. So well done, Bandit. I'm going to put her down because I want to discuss a new watch with you. You sit down here. And that is the new Black Bay Ceramic, and this watch is incredible. So as you may have seen on our Instagram Live yesterday, I received my watch yesterday, and it is absolutely stunning. So it's a 41mm Black Bay, now in ceramic, and I know they've done a blacked out version of this watch before. It's called the Black Bay Dark, and that's a beautiful watch. It has a PVD coating to a steel case. It has a really cool kind of black dial with a red depth indication. But this watch is a completely different animal. First, it's got a ceramic case, but the ceramic has been executed in a really beautiful way, meaning that the ceramic case is sandblasted, but you know that one of my favorite things about the Black Bay are the bevels on the lugs, and they have retained those bevels and actually even mirror polished the ceramic bevels, which I think is rather incredible. From there, you go to the bezel. So I want to be very specific about it. When I say the bezel, I don't mean that. I mean just the part here that actually rotates. That's the bezel. The part that has the indexes for diving, for the elapsed dive time, that's actually the bezel insert. So the bezel is made of 316 steel that's been PVD coated, whereas the bezel insert is actually ceramic that has been laser engraved with the elapsed time indications. The dial is black and domed. The indexes are superluminova filled, and they're kind of a light cream. So for me, I think they're very beautiful. I think they haven't gone too far in terms of making them too kind of ecru and too vintagey looking. And for me, it's just a nice touch of warmth, which I think really complements the sort of all black look of this watch. Now, what's really cool about the bezel is even though it's in ceramic, it actually has a sunray brushing on it as well. So if you look at it, there's already 3 different types of finishes on here, right? On the ceramic. You've got sunray brushing, you've got sandblasting for the main case, and then you've got the mirror polish for the bevels. So if you look at it, the watch is really cool. Oh, I should speak about the strap as well. So it's the first time they've done this kind of really cool hybrid strap, which is part leather and part rubber. The rubber is on the inside, and it has a snowflake motif that references the snowflake hour hand, the historic snowflake hour hand that you see on the watch here as well. But a lot of what's exciting about this watch is on the inside. So the really exciting thing about this watch is that it is the first METAS certified Tudor watch, right? So what is METAS? The METAS is the Federal Institute of Metrology, and it is one of the most grueling and punishing tests for quality. You may have heard of METAS before because there's another brand in the Swiss watch industry that has become kind of synonymous with METAS certification. However, I applaud Tudor for becoming also the second brand that has now incorporated METAS certification into their watches, and in particular related to this one specific watch. So how does METAS work? So first, the watch has to be entirely made in Switzerland, which I think is great. The second thing is that it has to have a cost certification for the movement. So the cost certification, as you guys know, is -4+6 in terms of accuracy. But then METAS actually works by taking the watch that's already been cased up and then testing it then. And first thing it does is test it for accuracies. So the accuracy range for METAS is 0 to 5, right? But actually there's also an internal Tudor testing, which is done for all of their watches, and their range of accuracy is -2 to 4. So actually there's kind of 3 certifications going on here: COSC, METAS, and then of course the internal Tudor test as well. Then from there, METAS tests the watch for water resistance. There's no specific depth that it tests it to, but since this is a dive watch, they test it to 200 meters. So then they test the watch to be impervious to magnetism up to 15,000 Gauss. And then from there, they test the watch at 2 different states of power reserve, wound 100% and wound at 1/3 or 33%. And then they test the watch over 6 different positions and over 2 different temperatures. The result is a watch that is stunning looking from the outside, but also elevates the Tudor reputation and performance level to an all-new high. And that, I think, is really cool. The MT5602-1U receives a really cool blacked out finish. It uses a tungsten carbide rotor, and it has a balance bridge that's reversing and fixed on both sides, and has a variable inertia balance wheel, which is the most stable type of balance wheel. So what's really remarkable to me about Tudor was they originally started off with ETA movements. And actually those ETA movement driven watches are actually quite collectible now. They've gone for fairly significant premiums on the secondary market. But then they went to their own movements, and of course their own movements were stellar. Like this movement here, a lot of traversing balance bridges, a lot of variable inertia balance wheels, and also silicone hairsprings as well, that allows you to have a watch that's impervious to magnetism in the way this is impervious to 15,000 Gauss. But when they did that, you know, you would imagine a lot of brands would add a significant premium to switching over to an in-house movement. They added a premium, if I'm not mistaken, that was around $250, which I think is amazing. And an incredible sign that, you know, from as far as a value proposition goes, I don't think there's a better watch in the market than a Tudor Black Bay. So what is my conclusion about this watch? It's daring, stunning to look at. It's got a great use of a almost completely scratch-resistant material like ceramic. There are some elements that are in steel, as I had mentioned, the bezel, the crown, and of course the case back as well. But what I really love is how beautifully they've decorated the bezel insert with the sunray finish and the laser engraving, and also the case with the sandblasting and the mirror polish on the bevels on the lugs. The strap is innovative, and then of course this watch achieves an all-new level of reliability. So yeah, I think it's great. Thank you very much for joining me. Take care.